Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, I want to do a revamp on why Christian life coaching is so important right now. People are super unclear about what they want, about how to go about getting it, and about how to overcome all of the obstacles in their way, all of the pandemics and the health problems, all of the divorce, all of the dysfunction, all of the trials and persecution. Like, how do we overcome the resistance to getting what we want, what we are called to, what we hope for, what we've held on to faith for so long about? And all of us, it's just that way in the world right now. On top of the world just has so many requirements, all the way from protecting your job to protecting your privacy to, remembering all your passwords, to remembering the baby in the back seat before you go in the store with brain fog, to saying the right thing in every social situation, to winning on social media, and to getting the right person to say yes to you, to getting out of debt, to eating clean, to clean in the house. And I'm tired just talking about it. It's really something that, as an adult, you end up going through all of these things alone. You're not a kid with a parent who's guiding you anymore. But when you have a coach, you have a guide. When you have a Christian coach who really seeks God in their practice and in their business, then you have somebody, you have a brother or a sister actually walking with you. And life coaches offer a listening ear as well as the clarity and direction and strategy and action taking the world so needs right now. And all of those things through life coaching is all personal and by choice rather than by compulsion, right? Not because you have to, but because you choose to. And people have enough of being told what to do and what to think and what to believe, what to know, and not enough compassion, empathy, patience, loving kindness, grace for them being right where they are. The world needs coaches and guides who will say, I will meet you there. Coaches help clients visualize what could be, and what that does is it offers them hope, and it suggests possibilities that they couldn't see alone. We are meant to do things with one another, and unfortunately, at least in the Western world right now, we have a culture of being islands and doing things on our own and, staying at home, working from home, isolating, scrolling for connection that's not true connection, all of the things that they're not feeding our soul. They're not nourishing our spirit. Even church right now can be really a difficult place to connect with real people and live in that village culture. It does not take a village to raise a child. This is news. I know it's a flash because everybody's always said it takes a village, right, to raise that child. No, it takes a village to raise anybody. You and me, we need a village. I'm still looking for people to help raise me. I don't know if I'm going to grow up or when. Maybe I'll resist them if I ever find the village. But, we need people around us. And coaching is the modern day village that people can actually find because nobody ever tells you where to find that village that's supposed to help you raise the child or the person. But coaching, everybody can go find a coach. It's a Google search away. It's you can type it in your podcast search bar or in Pinterest. YouTube. You can find a coach, somebody who's specifically right to walk with you anywhere you look. It's a modern day village. You can find anybody in the village, whatever they do, whatever kind of personality works for you, it is possible. Coaching is really, it's kind of like creating an opportunity for harvest. It really is a possibility and waymaker, especially when you partner with God in it. Can you think of an area in your life where you don't know what you need to know and wish you could process it kind of with somebody who's just non-judgmental? Wish you had somebody who could whiteboard with you. Can you think of an area where you wish you had somebody with hope and a positive approach to all of the things that feel daunting or difficult in your life? There are literally millions of people out there who feel that way. You can understand. And if you're wanting to be a coach or trying to start out as a coach, building a business, or you've been coaching for a while and you just feel like stuck in a rut, or you don't have any clients, you're struggling to get clients right now, I want to refresh you with the knowledge that the world needs you and how you carry it. You're just in process. It is okay to be right there, okay? People want your unbiased, non-judgmental feedback. They want somebody to support them and the process that they need to go through, which is super, super personal. They don't want to just feel better. They don't want a Band-Aid. They want somebody who has the ability to draw out of them what is inside, but they don't know how to access on their own. And a coach's purpose is to actually guide a client to their own personal awareness and greater knowledge, decision-making ability, and action-taking. Who doesn't wish they had somebody like that who isn't going to be mad about the path that they take into all of these things? Somebody who's not a significant other or a child or a parent or a boss, somebody who's not impacted by their choices and how long it takes them to just be on the journey that is theirs. Now, everybody needs a measure of accountability and external expectation to encourage them to show up in their life. Even if they're a person who questions everything or rebels against the expectations of others, those external expectations like deadlines and urgency and people waiting on you, they still need to be there because it urges the person on. And that's what you do as a coach. You are waiting for them to show up. You're waiting for them to do their homework, to answer these questions, to pursue deeper thought, to use their critical thinking skills. When they don't have somebody like a coach in their life who's pulling things out of them, who's drawing things out, who's asking questions as if they care, well, then it feels like nobody cares. Even, I don't know, as a person who didn't have a coach for so long, didn't have a mentor, didn't even have somebody like a mom sewing into me for such a long, long time, I admit that I know people in my life cared about me, but often it felt like nobody cared because it felt that way. It wasn't true, but boy, did it feel that way. And when you have a coach, you feel like there's someone out there who's actually thinking about you. And when you're you have a Christian life coach that you're working with, you get to actually say, wow, I bet that person is praying for me. And not even while we're in session, I bet that person is going to hear from God about the direction that they want to take. He knows to take the sessions. There's a whole different level of trusting somebody who hears the word and the voice of God. Why? Because living is hard. Being a human is hard. Adulting is hard. And oddly enough, those truths are biblical because Jesus says, you're going to be persecuted. Trials are coming. You will suffer. And by the way, there's all those things like war and famine and all of the natural things that are going to happen. But God, He is with us in the trials and the persecution and all the suffering and the heartbreak. But as a coach, you get to be a voice of hope with permission to speak hope into somebody's life and with the joy of actually walking in your calling as a guide to others. So you get to share your wisdom and experience and boldly take somebody by the hand and walk up their mountain with them. Who doesn't want that? I love being coached. I love coaching people who are ready and who show up for it. So I'm asking you, what are you here for? If you are called to coach, what are you waiting for? Where are you stuck? Why aren't you taking action? Why aren't you sharing what you know? Why aren't you putting out consumable, valuable content so people can learn from you? Why aren't you practicing even for free just so you get more experience or you get more clarity about who you want to work with and who you don't? Why aren't you out there asking people questions? Why aren't you trying different platforms and doing different things to get clarity through your action taking? Because I promise you, you're not going to get very far if you don't take some action. So what are you stuck? Is it in your belief system? Are you believing a narrative that nobody wants what you have, or that you're not perfect yet, or you're not excellent at it yet, or you're not capable yet, or you just don't know the right people yet? What is it that you don't have, you don't know who you aren't yet, that's holding you back because you're thinking about it? And what if you were to switch that and just say, I am called to be a coach. I'm going to act on that. And let's just see what happens. God is with me, right? Because the world needs you, and you need to get out of whatever rut you've been in, whatever riptide you've let sweep you away from the shore, whatever web of lies from the enemy of your soul you've gotten caught up in. If you're called, God will equip you. So just agree with Him by saying yes and taking action and get moving to become the guide He wants to release into the world, to be a hope bringer and a healing heart, like to be the character and nature of God who meets people right where they are. So there's going to be a link in the show notes, or you can go to sterlingandstonementoring.com. And I highly recommend that you book a session, a coaching clarity session with me. If you don't know where to start, if you're getting stuck, if you're in a rut, if you're doubting things and you don't know what to do with the clients you have, or you don't know where to get started or how to go find them, let's get you unstuck. Okay? So yes, I have a business, but if you look at my prices, I am a non-profit minded person. I've run a nonprofit for 15 years. I've always desired to help people who don't have a disposable income of thousands of dollars to help themselves do the things, because I believe we've all got things that are really important on our plate, and they all have important names. Some of them are children, our significant others, parents. We've got other jobs. We are trying to make ends meet. And my heart and my calling is to meet you where you are at. So I want you, if you're thinking, I just can't do it, I don't have the ability, I still want you to email me, reach out to me, and let's chat. So Laura@sterlingandstonementoring.com. That email address is in the show notes. You can find me on the website, and in the show notes, I'm accessible. I'm always capable of getting an email from you, and we can have a conversation about where you're at and what you need and how to get you there. If you're in it, if you're committed, if you want this, then let's do the work and get you unstuck. Because Christian life coaches, they are needed in the world. God is doing a new thing for such a time as this, because the world needs us. He needs disciplers. He needs mentors. He needs coaches. He needs the everyday person willing to show up to the one right in front of them. He needs what you carry that he's given you, that he intimately, intricately knit into your being. He wants it to be revealed. And I am calling you up and out to be in partnership with him, to actually let the will of God manifest in your life. Say yes to him. All of the no in your soul, let it be pushed out of the way by the yes in your spirit. Let your spirit rise up and take over everything that your soul and your body has been barking at you about. And do what your spirit really longs to do. And if you're called to be a coach, your spirit right now feels stirred up. You feel expectancy and you feel hope and you feel conviction maybe and possibility. I want you to go reach for those things because you are called, equipped, and I want to help release you. So put it in the mind. All things are possible because you love your God. Okay? Talk to you next time. I so appreciate you as a listener. And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone life coach? Well, learn more about the Greenhouse course where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making.